No Limits Wrestling, at long last, is back on the airwaves, and the Undisputed Era are in the building. But what will they say ahead of Lethal Lockdown against Team Austin at Metal Wrestling Revival? It's live, it's back, it's NLW. Dateline Brooklyn, New York hosts the return of No Limits Wrestling. Not long to go before Metal Wrestling presents Revival on pay-per-view. And there's a lot of eyes gonna be watching that show, including the Executive Vice President of NLW, Triple H, who will address the fans regarding NLW's absence later this evening. We will also see Walter and Will Ospreay go one-on-one in the first Money in the Bank qualifier for WrestleMania. Also, an exclusive look at this past weekend's MMA bout between Conor McGregor and Uriah Faber that took social media by storm. Find out why later tonight. Can't wait to see that unfold and more. But first, get ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby. And as you can see, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish of the Undisputed Era. They are tasked with going into enemy territory by Triple H, told to take down Metal Wrestling from within. They have the chance at Metal's Revival pay-per-view coming soon, which will feature the Undisputed Era battling Team Metal in a Lethal Lockdown match. And last week, Metal brought the fight to NLW when they drove into the arena hidden inside a tank after Metal President Stone Cold was beaten by Triple H's bodyguard Kevin Owens. But what has Adam Cole, baby, got to say ahead of the huge 6 Sides of Steel war? Let's listen in to the man himself.
We have run roughshod over NLW since we arrived, and since then, no one has ever made the impact that the Undisputed Era has. As soon as we arrived, we shot to the top and we took out John Cena. And then, when Stone Cold tried to hold us back when he was in charge, we forced him out and left him a bloody heap. Now, what kind of man would come back after that for more, huh? Someone who's crazy, psychotic, a freak? Whatever you want to call it, I guess Cena and Austin have a screw loose, because not only did they come back, they stuck their nose into our business. But clearly, they're happier messing with us from a place where they know we don't work. And that brings me on to Metal Wrestling. Stone Cold has challenged us to a Lethal Lockdown match at his Revival pay-per-view. Stone Cold, John Cena, CM Punk and Finn Balor. Metal's dream team, they're saviors. Well, the dream becomes a nightmare when you step into that cage against the Undisputed Era. Everything you've done up to this point, attacking us, costing us opportunities, it ends at Revival. Granted, NLW hasn't exactly been the greatest company to work for, but I'll damn sure do Papa H and Shawn proud by leading the charge into battle, baby, and putting an end to Metal Wrestling. Finn Balor, we will make sure you don't make it to WrestleMania to challenge Jeff Hardy for the title. And CM Punk, we're gonna knock you out before Conor McGregor has a chance to. Steve Austin, I'm gonna pin you 1, 2, 3 for the second time. And John Cena, this time, I'm gonna put you out of action for good. And that's not just a fact, boys and girls, that is undisputed. Adam, I'm gonna go ahead and dispute that. Adam Cole, it's real tough to talk trash when you know I'm not allowed in the building. But we will be in the same ring at Revival. Both of us locked inside lethal lockdown, and when the roof comes down and there's no escape, I'm gonna break you like you tried to break my neck 2 years ago. So if you want to destroy my vertebrae, maybe I should destroy something of yours. I borrowed this ATV from Mr. Austin as a company car, and since he isn't here tonight, he can't do his usual shenanigans, so I'm gonna go ahead and play the role of old Stone Cold and smash up your car.
Oh my god, is he serious? Adam Cole thinks he's bluffing. Is Cena actually going to do this? Oh my god! Cena! Destroying the Undisputed Era's rental car with that ATV! Cena repeatedly driving over and smashing the interior as John Cena drives off into the night. Cole is having to be calmed down and restrained as Team Metal attempt to get the mental edge over NLW. My god, what else is going to happen here tonight? John Cena from Metal Wrestling arriving here tonight in the building. And you know what, speaking of a war, for NLW's 10-year anniversary, we saw the Lucha Brothers become the new NLW Tag Champions in a thrilling TLC match, and now, here are some words from the brand new champions in the Death Triangle. The pretenders and the undeserving have fallen, and now the most destructive force in wrestling sits atop the mountain as your NLW World Tag Team Champions. Penta, Helscel Romero, Rey, Phoenix, brothers of brutality who stepped into the 10-year anniversary tables, ladders and chairs and walked out as the new champions of the world. No team is ready for the destruction they're about to face at the hands of us. But our quest for gold doesn't stop now. Mustafa Ali, the date has been set. On NLW 106, it's you versus the Bastard for your X Division title. And at the end of the night, it will be the Death Triangle holding all of the gold. And you, Ali, will be a crumpled shell, bowing down and begging for mercy from us. Death Triangle want more accolades, and perhaps the most lucrative accolade of all is the Money in the Bank briefcase, and we're about to see two men compete for a chance to have a shot at it.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Introducing first, gliding out of Essex, England, weighing in at 231 pounds, the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay.
And Ospreay tonight goes one-on-one with a man, Walter, a man who Ospreay spilled coffee over, to which Walter replied by chopping Ospreay so hard he flew through the arena doors. Ospreay hoping for better luck tonight, but the ring general is in a foul mood.
And his opponent, fighting out of Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 250 pounds, he is the ring general, Walter.
Walter wants revenge and a spot in Money in the Bank at WrestleMania, but who will advance? It's Walter versus Ospreay, and it's live next. NLW back on the air, this matchup underway between Will Ospreay and Walter. The winner becomes the first man to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania. Will Ospreay with the Sasuke special, but Walter, look at the power, catches him out and powerbombing the aerial assassin on the edge of the ring. My god, Walter freaky strength from the Austrian, who now on the top rope going for the big splash. But Ospreay moves. Ospreay moved at the last second. And now that big Robinson special kick right to the back of the skull of Walter. And it may not be long now. Oz cutter come in. But chopped in mid-air. Could have taken his head clean off. And going to pick up the lifeless body of Ospreay again and chop him back down. Almost as brutal as the chop which sent Ospreay flying through the doors last week. And now Walter looking to put it away. Powerbomb coming, but Ospreay counters with a poison rana. Spiking Walter, but can he capitalise? He's running to the top rope. Ospreay on the top. Shooting star press, but Walter catches him out. Catching out Will Ospreay with the sleeper, and now Ospreay's fading. Ospreay's fading fast. Walter wants to go to WrestleMania, but look at this. Ospreay. Oh, hang on a minute. Will Ospreay using the ropes to cheat out of the view of the referee. Well, using the leverage advantage he had with the illegal maneuver, putting his feet on the ropes for added advantage, Will Ospreay has pulled off a major upset and defeated Walter. Again, look at this. It looked like Walter was in dominant control with these chops, and then the shooting star press into the sleeper. I thought it was over. You can see Will Ospreay fading, but then turning over the pressure, and right there, the referee didn't see it, and Ospreay using the ropes, cheating to get the victory over Walter. And now Will Ospreay becomes the first man to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania. I mean, Walter, and look at this, adding insult to injury. Ospreay saying you're going to cry about it, but Ospreay is going to Money in the Bank. So Will Ospreay qualifies for Money in the Bank in quite controversial fashion, and speaking of controversy, no one quite attracts more of it than the notorious Conor McGregor. Last week in New York City, Conor had an MMA featherweight clash with UFC Hall of Famer Uriah Faber, a main event clash which saw a lot of striking and technical prowess throughout the contest. 3 minutes and 42 seconds into the fourth round, Conor got the finish with a swift shot to the jaw that left Faber stunned, as McGregor was awarded the win via TKO. But after the official decision, we were shocked to see CM Punk in attendance. He is the man who will face Conor in a no DQ match at WrestleMania. Conor invited Punk into the octagon, and tensions were high to say the least. But at WrestleMania, the fight will be in the ring, and there will be no disqualifications. Also at WrestleMania last week, we found out that The Undertaker would compete inside Hell in a Cell by order of the Ministry's higher power. If The Undertaker loses, he is out of the Ministry, and the opponent revealed to be none other than the Fiend Bray Wyatt of Metal Wrestling. With more on this story, here is a spokesman for the Ministry's higher power, Evil Uno.
The higher power has instructed me to inform the masses about his reasoning for forcing Undertaker to fight the Fiend inside Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. Only the Fiend Bray Wyatt has the cunning and the psychological wherewithal of the higher power. It was therefore fitting that the Fiend be allowed to fight the Undertaker. The Undertaker has been a weak link in the Ministry, and this match will be a chance to prove the higher power wrong. However, if the Undertaker does not beat the Fiend inside Hell in a Cell, he will be kicked out of the Ministry with full force. And moving on to the championship business, namely the NLW Championship, the higher power was most disappointed that the Hardy Boys did not win the Tag Team Championships in TLC, thanks to an appearance from Finn Balor, the so-called Prince. The NLW champion Jeff Hardy has the full support of the higher power, and on a personal note, myself, Evil, and the rest of the Ministry are fully behind Brother Nero in his NLW title match at WrestleMania against Finn Balor. The higher power is looking to strengthen the divisions which have held us back from reaching our full potential. WrestleMania, he believes, will be the dawning of a new era for us, where we will control the professional wrestling world and become a phenomenon bigger than the sum of its parts. And he looks forward to sharing that vision with you, the masses. There is no room for weak links within this organization. This has been a message from your higher power.
And well, I think we can all agree it will be quite the spectacle when Helscel goes down at WrestleMania, as well as that massive title match. But now let's throw it over to our backstage correspondent, the man for the South, Jimmy Hart. Thanks, man. I'm waiting on the arrival of Jushin Thunder Liger to try and get an explanation surrounding his recent actions. And many people have been questioning if it is even the real Liger at all. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's coming here anytime soon. Last week I tried to interview Ricochet, trying to get to the bottom of it, but Liger again attacked him. And contrast this to what we saw when he appeared on Metal Wrestling. He was composed, respectful, almost like a completely different person. Rest assured, I'm trying to get an interview with him if he does even show up. In fact, the whole world wants to know if this purple Liger is indeed the real deal or if he's just an imposter. Ronda Rousey, I know it was you who hired all those girls to do your dirty work, and as soon as I'm done with them, I'm coming for the women's title, which I never lost. As for the Kabuki Triad, Paul Ellering, you're the puppet master. They're pimp, are ya? Bring your assassins to NLW and I will get my revenge on each and every one of them, so help me God.
I am challenging the Undisputed Era to a lethal lockdown match.
8 men.
We are going to end Metal Wrestling, baby.
1 steel cage.
I will beat you from one side of that cage to the other.
Lethal lockdown.
And that is Undisputed.
Metal Wrestling presents Revival, live on pay-per-view.
NLW 24/7 is returning to YouTube next Saturday, starting with 3 brand new shows. Witness the aftermath of Money in the Bank when NLW 24/7 presents Backlash next Saturday, 6 PM UK time. Then, in 3 weeks' time, NLW 24/7 presents All Out, and the last show, rounding out the trio, will be NLW 24/7 One Night Stand, where every match will have a special stipulation. You don't want to miss these exciting fantasy shows starting next Saturday. Follow us on Instagram at NLW Instagram for all the latest match news and updates. But right now, it's time to play the game. And there's been a lot of speculation as to why NLW has been away for the past 2 months. Hopefully the Executive Vice President of the company, Triple H, can update us on his status and the status of NLW as a whole. Well, he's taken his time. I know he's a busy man, but where is he?
Well. Not quite who you were expecting, was it, Brooklyn? As the NLW Commissioner, I am here to inform you that the Executive Vice President of NLW, Triple H, is not in Brooklyn at this time. He got into some trouble on the subway, but we are hoping to get an update from him at any moment. But fear not, old HBK has a few updates of his own. Do you guys want to see Kenny Omega show up again, return to kick my ass here in Brooklyn?
I think these people want to see it.
Well, that's too damn bad, because it's never gonna happen. Kenny Omega is still suspended for attacking me week after week. However, I will have an update on his suspension, which I will deliver in person to Kenny next week. Now, as for Metal Wrestling, the so-called competition, that company would be nothing if it wasn't for guys like me paving the way. And at Revival, the whole world is going to watch NLW's own Undisputed Era hand deliver an ass-kicking to Metal's Golden Boys.
Hey, Shawn.
Look, thanks for filling in for me tonight. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be here with you in the arena, but I am in New York. In fact, there was a train delay here at Grand Avenue Station, but I'm hoping I can get out of here in no time. So I figured, why wait to give my address to the fans? I'm sure all of you are very eager to hear what I have to say. I have some major news, a massive discovery. You see, NLW's been on somewhat of a hiatus as of late. And that is because I have been looking into legal options, which have caused me a distraction from my main duties running shows. As it turns out,
Stone Cold's Precious Metal Wrestling isn't as wholesome of a company as they'd led people to believe. Austin wants to paint NLW in a bad light when in reality, the complete opposite is true. You see, my inside sources tell me that some shady stuff is happening over there. A certain mole has been telling me some insider information. A couple of agents of yours have been trying to sign some of my guys who are under NLW contract, which is illegal, as I understand it. But for now, I'll wait to pursue legal action until after Metal's had their little revival pay-per-view. After all, I wouldn't want to spoil the occasion after Undisputed Era kick Metal's asses at Lethal Lockdown. But after that event, my lawyers will be in contact with anyone involved in this suspected crime. In fact, I have it on good authority that a certain agent of Metal's was coming to Brooklyn here tonight to scout some talent, aka tamper with my contracts. A Mr. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Unfortunately for Mr. Steamboat, he's about to learn the most important lesson when it comes to business. Don't mess with Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I have a feeling he's going to be late for his little scouting appointment.
And oh my god! Kevin Owens just pushed Ricky Steamboat onto the train tracks! Somebody, for the love of God, get him to safety!
The next stop is Fulton Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.